Fala galera, Markus Kjaerbye ao meu lado para a gente fazer aquela entrevistinha, falar um pouco da carreira dele. Ele foi o MVP mais novo a ganhar um Major, então vamos conhecer um pouquinho mais do Markus. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
First of all, I'd like to know how you started out in CS. How old were you? Who introduced you to the game?
I think I did not have a PC at home, so when I was 10 years old, after school I would go to my best friend's house, and in the beginning I would just watch him and his brother play all the time, and after having watched many times I finally had the opportunity to try Counter-Strike Source, and then I was just hooked. I just loved Counter-Strike, and I really quickly found out I just had a flair. Like I was instantly much better than my friends, even though I hadn't played much.
And when did you become a pro?
I became a pro when I was 15 in 2014. It was never a dream for me to become professional, because back then I didn't know like you could live from gaming. I just knew I loved playing. I was a decent soccer football player, and when I was 14 I stopped playing football and just went home to game Counter-Strike after school every day. And it was really a random story how I became professional, because I was not really trying, as I said, but one day top 5 team in Denmark, they were going to event in Finland, and 2 days before one of their players were banned for cheating, back ban. So all of a sudden they needed, with really short warning, someone who could come and play this tournament with them. So I'm on vacation in Spain, and there's a guy calling me like we don't know much about you. I'm the only one of the guys from the team wanted me, trusted me to play this tournament, and he convinced the rest. And I got home from vacation and took to this tournament, and we won the tournament, and I was playing really well. And so from like 4 days, I was like going to school, like loving CS but never thinking I could go pro, to winning a decent tournament. Like Apex was there, other pro players were there, and we won it, and I played good, and all of a sudden this was my new life, Counter-Strike.
But did you watch the competitions?
Yeah, I watched the competitions at home, like majors and like.
Who are you fans of?
I was fan of the best Danish team, like with Device, and I think it was called Team Dignitas back then. Yeah, like Danish players I was really fan of.
How did CS change your life?
CS changed my life because I didn't know what to do with my life when I was younger. My mother always told me like you need to finish high school, and my father is very different. Like he didn't go to school. He's like entrepreneur. He has his own shops and stuff. So I come from a home where my parents raised me very differently. They got divorced when I was 2 years old. So my mother is like old school, and my father is like much more like open-minded after going to a dream. So one day when I was 15, a few months after this tournament I told you about, I was really stressed because I was playing Counter-Strike until 4 a.m. in the morning, and 4 hours later I was going to school and sleeping in class. And my teacher kept saying that like, why are you looking so tired every day? And I felt like I couldn't tell her, because back then it was not cool to be Counter-Strike player, because then you were a nerd. So one day my father picked me up from school, and he could see like, okay Markus, you have to choose between like, do you want to go all in on Counter-Strike? And I was just smiling at him and like, yes, like please just let me quit school and let me try to go for my dream. And then he said, okay, like you can always go to school. And then I go home to my mother, and she's like, did you drop out of school? Like she got really mad. She got really mad that my father convinced me to leave school, because I promised her I would finish it. But then like the rest is history. I don't have any regrets, but now I haven't been pro for a few years, and you know, the finishing education would have been good now, but back it also helped me to become a really good player back then.
So what are your current plans?
So my current plans is I work. I have different jobs. Like I do a little freelance in esports. I do streaming on Twitch, 3 days a week, playing Counter Strike. Like I don't have the desire to be a pro, but I'm still trying to qualify for pro tournaments on stream with the mixed teams, the different players. And then I work in youth club. So my plan right now is to find out, like, try different things, find my new direction in life, because I never had another job than Counter Strike until.
And you're still so young.
Yeah, and I'm young, but I played pro CS since I was 15. So it's really difficult to quit CS and like having to go outside esports and see the real world, find a real job. These kind of things it's not easy. So that's what I'm trying.
It's okay. When you see like a venue, Royal Arena, packed, major final, what's the thrill? What's the sensation?
It gives me flashback to when I walked on the major like grand final stage. It's I have mixed feelings about it because it's the most amazing feeling, like adrenaline, happiness. You take pride, like you work hard towards something and you finally succeed. And the competition is really tough in Counter Strike these days. But it also gives me flashback to like how hard you work for this moment, right? You spend months, years working every day for this moment, and this moment on stage, it lasts a few hours, right? So it's a mixed feeling because it's the best feeling in the world. But the problem is that it can be hard being an esports player because everyone want to be the best. So there's a lot of people who always go home disappointed. And I think that mental side, it's hard that everyone is fighting for this glory that is so hard to get. And when you finally got there, like I won the major when I was 18, I feel like it was kind of a relief. It was a nice feeling, but I was also really sad that the joy lasted so long, so short, because the next tournament was 1 week after. You know, it's a circus, you know.
But you'll always be a major winner.
Yeah.
And for the organization with the most titles.
Yeah.
Why did your contract come to an end with Astralis?
So I was with Astralis for a few years. We won the major in the beginning of 2017, and then it slowly went downhill. Like we had to play with stand-ins because the Rice got sick. And then at the end of the year, he came back, and we had played a few months with no contract in Astralis because we went from like a family to starting to like split into two camps because we could not agree on what the salary should be, the contract, because now we were the best team in the world. And of course we wanted to be one of the best paid teams. And all this was really hard for me because I was young. I felt like I just missed the family feeling. I was kind of stressed about the whole situation. So when I got the offer from North, I was in a really bad place mentally. Like I was not enjoying Counter Strike. I did not have motivation. I was tired of having arguments and with Astralis and not playing on contract. So basically it was just a tough time, and Astralis, you know, North came to me at a place when we just got eliminated by the major in the last spot. And we went out in the first, after 2 days or something. And no one believed in the team out there. Everyone was like panicking because all of a sudden, like, how do we get back from this? We are starting to perform really bad. So North contacted me, and I got really, it's a nice feeling when somebody really want to sign you. They really believed in me. And since I could not motivate myself after having won a major, I thought, why don't I go out and make a motivation of becoming the best player in the world? Now I look stupid because I was never near to that. But at the time, I was just desperate to get the motivation back, to try something new. And I kind of just ran from my problems, you know. Like I run away at night, you know.
Uh-huh.
And like metaphorical speaking, like I didn't know what to do. I was stressed about the whole situation. Do I stay in North Astralis or do I go to North? And it was like rolling a dice. Like I could not feel in my stomach what I wanted for my life. So I just took the leap of faith and joined the rival and hope that now I can find the happiness of playing. Because the problem for me is one of my biggest motivation was to prove people wrong. Like my teachers that didn't trust me. Like I wanted to make my father proud by being the best in the world. These kind of things. The thing is, it can be a really strong motivation, but it's also really toxic. Because when you achieve it and when you win the major, I have proven the people wrong, right?
Yes.
But all of a sudden, I have an emptiness inside because I don't feel that I did it for myself. Like, how do I? Like, I admire these players who are at the top for 10 years. Like, I don't understand how they can keep motivating themselves. So this was my problem.
You were so young.
Yeah.
Do you think you were immature at times in game and with organizations, with other players?
I think I was too professional in a young age. Like I was forced to be an adult when I was still a kid. And I very much thought I was an adult because I had success. So I was too bad at listening to advices from my family and people around me. You know, when you get a little fame in that age, you don't know who to trust and like even your friends, like you don't know like who are your friends and who are your friends because you have money now and stuff. So I definitely feel like my biggest problem was that I thought I was mature and professionally I was in a esports environment, but as a Markus, as a person outside the game, I was really not having a life. Like I was all about CS and all about these kind of things. So and I was not that mature in terms of like I was really we're going from this Astralis family feeling, like we loved our bosses, everyone loved each other and believe each other. But then I like everything was going well and like we won the major, the mood was good. But when the results were bad and people were starting to rage at each other, like discussing, I was really bad at this at a younger age. I was scared of saying my opinion. I was scared of arguments and like things that is healthy for a team. Like you need to be able to speak free of your mind and you need to be able to say where you come from, kind of. And it's not like I was afraid of it, so I just shut my mouth. I didn't like participate in the arguments, and this left me a feeling of not thriving. You know, it makes sense.
What was your the first thing you bought when you had like money?
I think I went.
Your splurge.
Yeah, I've always been like pretty. Like I always been saving up pretty well, I would say, even though I was young. So but there was one event I played where we won $250,000 in 3 hours. It was like a major grand final rematch. And then I went shopping with Device and we bought clothes for €3,000. We never wore again because the money was so easy. So that's like that, or like going out, paying for my friends, alcohol and stuff. Like I had nights where I spent €2,000. So looking back, that's like the stupid money I spent. Yeah.
Are you still friends with Device?
Yeah, we're friends, but it's not like we see each other a lot or anything like that. That's the weird thing about esports. Like when you play in a team with someone, you see them more than your family. So like you like each other and you spend so much time traveling. But when you don't play and when you don't play together anymore and you start competing against each other, then it's really difficult to keep up the contact because like you're rivals and all of a sudden you don't see each other every day. So like I'm friends with him, but it's hard to keep up when you don't see each other every day. Like.
What was the player you got along with the best?
So like in later years, like internationally, it was Nerds I played with. We played each other in a UK team. In Denmark, I have I think because of all the ups and downs I had playing in Team North, I would say like Gate and AC, we got really close because we managed to be really good friends outside of the game. So probably those two, but all the Astralis guys, I'm also gotten like close to over the years. Of course, when I left Astralis, there was a few years where we didn't speak together. But I think like we have talked about what happened, and they know I was young, and they sort of forgive me, and I forgive myself. Yeah.
And who is the one you got along with the least?
I don't think I can say that on camera, but I can say like I have joined a team and I sort of panicked because there's very few persons I don't like, but I have played in a team with a guy I didn't like, and I thought it was really difficult to like because you have to find out, like you have to act like you like the person, so it was definitely really difficult to perform, and I didn't know really what to do.
Tem alguém nesse cenário que vocês falam, nunca jogaria com essa pessoa, não gosto dela não?
Ixi. Eu não gosto do Kjaerbye lá, que eu não gosto dele não. Rolou algumas coisas aí que não faz sentido, mas é passado, né? Não gosto dele,
eu
não.
acho que eu sei.
Me causa muito, acho, né?
So I interviewed Lucas and Henny some years ago, and I was like, who is the most annoying player?
Yeah.
You know, and they mentioned you.
Yeah.
Why? Why would they say that?
We just had an argument once, like I was really not that mature. It was PGL Krakow Major. So basically, I was just frustrated because I lost this semifinals day one, and they were out like partying at 5 a.m. and I just pretty much asked him like, guys, man, this is your biggest chance. Like, you play the grand final tomorrow. Why are you out drinking? And I think they just took it personal. Like, I don't care what they do. It was just like it was just so different to what I would have done in that situation, and I think it just caused some bad incident and like misunderstanding. Yeah.
Who do you watch the Brazilian teams nowadays?
Yeah, like during the major, the Brazilians played really well, so I saw that.
Which Brazilian is your favorite player?
Colsera, because I played with Colsera, and I think he has a really good heart, and he's a really good person, and a really good team player, and just a good person. So I like Colsera.
And what is something that gets your heart warm? Like a childhood memory, a special food? Is there anything that brings you to your safe place?
I think like thinking about the day where the first time me and my girlfriend said we love each other at a concert in this arena with a Danish band playing. Like, that's probably the moment that means the most to me.
Oh, that's nice. If you weren't a CSGO player, would you be a football player? Well,
my childhood dream was to be a football player, but I was not good enough. So basically, I don't play pro anymore. So you could say this is what I would. Well, I still wouldn't have done this because I'm still in esports, because I had been a pro player. So that's the thing why I think esports also made me a purpose, because I never really had a plan when I was a teenager. Like, I had no idea what I would study right now or what kind of work I had. I'm just happy I had the possibility to pursue a dream. So I don't know.
Even though you won a major, and probably that is your career high, but what is your memory that you cherish the most?
Walking on stage in Royal Arena in 2017, playing the grand final here. We didn't have our best player. We talked English because we had to have a Swedish stand-in player. And also my worst memory is leading the third map against the Colsera and Fallen, 15-14, and full crowd, 10-hour long day. We played the whole tournament in one day because of delays. Like having 25 people, friends, family in the crowd, and deciding to play the AWP in the most important round of my life, and ending up losing that final. was something I still have nightmares about.
Really?
Yeah, so like the best moment, because it was the first time with a big Danish crowd, and Astralis is really big here in Denmark. So that was like almost even more beautiful than winning a major, I would say, because it's at home.
That's true. What did you do on the day that you won the major? How did you celebrate?
So I was only 18 and we were in United States. So my teammates, they went out to party, but I was not allowed because I was 18. So I went to the gym and then I went to bed. Yeah, really bad, I know. It's really boring.
And did you listen to their stories afterwards?
Yeah, I heard a lot of good stories that I was like, I wish I was there, right? Yeah.
And well, I guess this is it. It was nice talking to you.
Nice.
And leave your Brazilian fans a message.
Yeah, I always love Portuguese and Brazilians. I think I love the energy you have, and I think we need more of your personality in Denmark. I love your fans. I love your fire and energy. I think it's really nice and admirable. So I want to thank you for being such a big part of esports, and you give us emotion and feelings, like you're not scared of showing it. And as Danish people, we need to be more open like you guys.
And just to wrap this up too, if you could describe yourself in one word, what would it be?
Complicated. Yeah.
How come?
It's just a really emotional person, so I'm like difficult in good and bad ways. Yeah.
That's normally how it goes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Markus.
Thank you.